Great awakening, light lords, and grand rising to those who have not yet awoken to know that nature is the only way, and every culture that exists on this planet indigenously has gotten their information from connecting themselves to nature. Now, I was going to do this as a live on Facebook, and I was going to do an open Q&A afterwards, but since my phone was that I was using was, being trippy, and I don't have a really good connection out here, I'm just going to record this and post it on YouTube, and hopefully the people that were interested in that video or the topic that I'm about to address will, see this video. And if you have any questions, just message me on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter or whatever. I have all of my links on my YouTube channel, and I really have all of my links on every social media page that I have at the moment. So now we're about to get into it, man. Nature is the way. Nature is the only way. Without nature, then we wouldn't have these physical bodies. We wouldn't be conscious of anything. Through nature, we project our minds. Through nature, we project our minds. It was a mosquito. Through nature, we project our minds into this earth plane, into this realm to go through trials and tribulations, and to actually teach ourselves, our current self, just specific part of the infinity that we are in a physical form that we call our ego. So this body is actually your mind. It's a projection of the mind. And nature is a simulation, is a simulated environment to show you yourself. Okay, so when you connect with nature, you fully get shown yourself. You actually begin to heal faster. When you connect with the earth's ionic energy, basically when you ground, or you call it earthing or grounding, you actually connect with the ionic energy of the earth. It gives out something called negative ions. They are invisible to the naked eye of the human being, but they actually automatically help you heal yourself and help you stay in a positive mood, reduces inflammation and all other types of stress, and reduces, all different types of things that we call negative, And it's funny because the ions are called negative ions when we perceive things and we call it negative. So it's kind of like a, mind game when we dealing with this English and we're dealing with our common etymological use of words. When we're dealing with our common grammar, our speech. So we actually have to, actually start connecting back to nature, try to get away from, society, because the society today is basically based off of ignorance, and they don't know about these things. Like a lot of them know about it. They just don't, since they've been indoctrinated with the societal structures that we have today in this age and time. We're not actually getting the right amount of nutrients, sunlight, and clean water, like natural clean water, real water, and air, clean air. We got plants, and I don't mean plants like plants behind me. I mean plants like industrial manufacturing facilities that put off lots of smog into the air on a constant basis, and they're filthying up the air. We got people going around cutting trees down, and there's nothing wrong with, trimming the earth and keeping it, good and clean. But when you take and take and take and don't give anything back, then that messes up the atmosphere, that messes up the environment for everyone else, for every being, for every other being other than humans, even other beings other than humans. Is messing up the whole environment for us. So it's people just constantly taking down trees. Then on top of that, they're making concrete. They're using, grinded up sedimentary materials, and metalloids and, rocks and stuff like that. And they're adding water to it and all different types of chemicals and stuff. And they're putting concrete down on top of the ground so that nothing else can grow there. Cause nothing, so nothing can grow there. So it's not that nothing could grow there. It's just that it hinders it. It hinders it so much to a point where it doesn't grow. Like the plants, as you can see, like if you're walking down a sidewalk, you see plants trying to grow up through the cracks, because they're not as thick as the rest of the concrete that's laid on the sidewalks or the road. And after so long, any road, it starts to crack. So they have to, the city has to come through and actually repave the whole road. It actually has to repave and pull it up and put extra, sedimentary rocks, or what you call concrete. They have to actually put more concrete or oil or whatever they put on it, Then they're taking a lot of oil out of the earth. All of these materials and minerals that the earth needs to actually be a stabilized being, for us to be extensions of it, so our minds can project ourselves through this and actually be human. We got people taking oil which is basically the blood of the earth. They're taking oil and they saying we gonna run out soon, which is the earth is not gonna let us run out. It's gonna kill off the cancer, man. It's gonna kill off anything that's hindering it. After so long, the earth is gonna come down and kill it. But I'm trying to warn you right now that this is the warning. Like a lot of my other videos, I'm like very frantic about it. But I'm like right now, I've been chilling in the sun and grounding, and I feel so relaxed right now. And I woke up today, and I ate. I'm sorry to get off topic, but I woke up today, man, and I gotta give you my good mood, man. I woke up today and I ate some chili mango. Okay, I got some chili garlic sauce, and I dipped my mangoes in it. Put a little sage in it, some paprika, and what else? Some minced onion on it, and I seared it in some coconut oil, and it was so great, man. Me and my son and I, we ate that for breakfast, and then we ate some hummus for lunch. It was so delicious, man. And I'm just so like thankful that I can even project my mind back to myself like that, and be able to do the things that I'm doing right now. And like when you connect with nature, man, like you need to start grounding, start getting sunlight. And breathing in as much air as you can, as much fresh, as much air as you can, and drinking, try to get away from tap water, drink bottled water. You're gonna eat healthier, eat more fruits, eat more vegetables. There's certain diets you can get on, but what it's really about is listening to your body, and seeing what types of fruits and vegetables you need to be eating on a daily basis. Okay, now. They're taking oil out of the earth, and they're making it into all these different plastics and stuff like that, and they're not giving anything back. They're taking crystals out of the earth. Crystals, if anyone that knows about spirituality or knows about the new age, crystals actually are living organisms, okay? They look like rocks. But when you take a magnifying glass and you actually look in them, they're patterned out like neurons, okay? And they actually, when you put a crystal in the ground, it actually seeks out the material that it's currently made out of to attract it to itself, to build itself. So actually, crystals are living, thinking organisms that just don't do what we do. Like, that's what I want people to see. I want people to see that everything in nature, including concrete, is thinking. Everything in existence is thinking. And there are 7 natural laws. I put up 3, but I can't do 7 with one hand. There are 7 natural laws that govern this existence, okay? And once we connect with nature and get to know these 7 natural laws, and actually get with other people like us and study the cosmos and ourselves, and connect with the earth and know ourselves as full as we can, and actually converse with other people that know themselves, then we will build a utopian realm. We will actually build a utopian realm, and we will be like literally where we are. God's walking the earth. We're gods. We're just sleeping gods. Okay, should I say? We're sleeping gods. We're gods walking the earth, and we're asleep, and we just don't know it because we're not connected with the being that we're even are. We're not even connected with the being, fully connected with the being that we are, which is the earth, okay? So we need to actually connect to this being. So when you get to know that the first law is mentalism, everything is thought, then you know that everything in nature, including artificial stuff, is actually a thinking pattern. It's actually a thought process. It's a thought form, and nothing is manifesting into this realm without thought first, okay? Without it being thought in some way, form, or fashion, okay? Everything in this realm has to be thought in some way, form, or fashion into existence, okay? Into what we call physical existence. It must be thought here, like baseball games, basketball, cars, computers, all of that had to be thought about. Building a house, all of that had to be thought about. So you got to think even before that, even before human existence, even before what we think of as the physical human existence, then we were thinking. We were actually thinking beings. We were actually thinking beings in another form. making things, okay, like trees, like we made up trees, like this is the mind. We are what we call the God, or it's what I call the good of all that is, for lack of a better term, okay, because we're speaking English. Then the second law is the law of correspondence. Then you got corresponding, meaning as above, so below. Okay, so it basically means that the same amount of stuff that's above, the quality of them, is the same amount of things that's below, no matter what spectrum you're on. Then it's the law of vibration. Everything must move. Everything in existence is moving, whether you think it's moving or not, even if it looks still. Okay, and this has been proven by science. All of the natural laws have already been proven by science, man. And you got the law of polarity. The law of polarity, meaning for there to be one end of a spectrum, there must be another end of a spectrum. So for there to be hot, there must be cold. For there to be bad, there must be good, yada yada. For there to be positive charges, there must be a negative charge. But there is no such thing as a true opposite, because it always keeps going. It's like basically like how we have microscopes and macroscopes, how we have microscopes and telescopes. When you got a telescope, you can keep getting better and better, better and better telescope to see farther and farther and farther and farther infinitely. You can get a microscope that sees smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller infinitely. That's how it works, man. Everything is infinite. So then you got the rhythm, which means when it comes to energy, when it comes to things happening, period, energy, it has to swing from one part to another. So temperatures must go up, temperatures must go back down, yada yada yada. So things go up and down, side to side, all around, reverse, forward. It just happens. That's the law of rhythm, and it happens it happens equally in every way. It happens equally. Now there's different levels of rhythm, because according to the law of polarity, so there's different levels of rhythm. So if you're going through something in your life, then you have a bad time, and then you like, dang, as much bad as I'm gonna have, as much bad as I'm experiencing, I'm gonna have good. You can also take that and hop up on another pendulum swing, to where you won't experience that other bad side, and you will experience another part of that goodness. So you can hop from one pendulum to the next, if you catch my drift. If you don't know, you know what I'm saying, you can go study all of this yourself, man. It's very intricate, detailed, and it's very simple. Like when you actually know this information. So then after mentalism, vibration, polarity, correspondence, and rhythm, mentalism, vibration, polarity, correspondence, rhythm. Okay, then you have oh shit, my fucking feet. These fucking mosquitoes are not playing, y'all. These mosquitoes are not playing with me. Ooh. Oh shit. Oh. Cause and effect. Then you got the law of cause and effect, the sixth principle, the sixth natural law. For one thing to happen, another thing must happen, and for that first thing to happen, something had to happen before that. Okay, that's the cause and effect. See, now so we have to have everything is happening in order. Basically, there's a divine order. Everything that happens has a reason, and everything that happens must have an effect. For every cause there is an effect. It basically states for every cause there is an effect, and for every effect it has a cause. Okay, for every effect there is a cause. So one moment leads to another, leading up to a moment, and it just basically every moment is connected. It's divinely connected. Every moment is connected. Then the last law is the law of gender, meaning that in all polarities, masculine and feminine energy must actually be expressed. Masculine and feminine energy, the dualism, the duality, basically gender must manifest in everything. Okay, gender must manifest in all things, like how atoms have protons, neutrons, and electrons. Okay, the proton and the electron are basically the masculine and the feminine energies. The neutron, it doesn't have it's neutral. It's neutral, so it doesn't really have a like push or pull. So basically it's the balance between masculine and feminine energy. Okay, So gender must manifest in all things. That's why there's male and female. There's even in asexual organisms, there's a part of the organism that has to communicate with another part to go inside, and there's the other part of the organism that has to have the outside. That has to have the inside for the other part of it to go in to create itself again. So that's basically it. These are the 7 natural laws, and this is the way to the truth and the light. Okay, this is the way to the Christ consciousness. It all connects, man. This is what, many of what they call messiahs and holy ones, and it's so many names, so many names: gurus, genies, witches, warlocks, wizards, whatever you want to call them, man. They tapped into this Christ consciousness, whether they were good or evil, whether they wanted to use it for worldly things or use it for higher spiritual purposes. They tapped into this higher consciousness by tapping into nature. Okay, see, nature is neutral. Nature, neutral, nature. Neter. And neter, the word neter comes from the word nature. The word nature actually comes from the word neter. It's vice versa though. See, because time, 4-dimensional space-time curvature, study that as well. I don't hear a lot of people talking about 4-dimensional space-time curvature, so that's why I talk about it a lot on my channel. 4-dimensional space-time curvature tells you that how much energy and what type of energy is in one space creates the time. So really there is no time. Time is an illusion. The beginning is the end, Alpha and Omega. The last shall be first and the first shall be last. We've heard this in many spiritual and religious texts. If the beginning, and I like to say this because people just don't get it. If the beginning is the end, and they were 2 points, like imagine if the beginning was this point and the end was this point. Okay, if the beginning is the end, so that means they're intertwined. They're in one point, which means if there is no beginning or end. They're at the same exact place. If the beginning and the end are at the same exact place, there is no beginning or end. So time is an illusion. So really, what comes first is a perception, and what comes last is a perception. Okay, that's why many of our spiritual leaders and stuff say stuff like that. It's to actually boggle your mind. It's to boggle your left brain to actually try to jig it in place. Try to jig it in place with your right brain, because our right brain really already knows this through intuitive thinking, through all of the thoughts that have already been thought. But your logical thinking wants to break down every thought. Your left brain wants to break down every thought and to put it and make it into analytics and make it into from a beginning to an end per se. So it's just about actually connecting with nature and actually applying these laws to your life on a daily basis. And then you will actually get to know yourself better and better, especially if you study your astrological energy, study your astrological programming that they call your natal chart. Go on any site. I like to recommend astrotheme.com, because when they do your chart, you got settings that you can mark and put all of your places in there and your signs and stuff like that. And then you can click on any sign and you can actually read specific information about every part of your chart. And it'll help you study. It'll help you study and actually get in tune with yourself and see why you think the way you think naturally. See why you actually pick certain roles within this realm, the options that they've given us, the options that people call our governments and stuff that they've given us to be inside of the society that we live in. Separate yourself from the society. Actually increase the options. Make those options bigger. Make those options a wider range, a wider array of options. A wider array of options, meaning that's what we're here to do. Okay? We're not just here to be doctors or rapper or anything that society wants you to be. Anything that this society has as an option for you. Okay? If you want to be a space-time traveler, I ain't talking about a space traveler, an astronaut, or a time traveler. So futuristic shit that you might think of, I'm talking about both. I'm talking about where you can just if you want to be there, bro, like real talk. Like this is what we got to get to. We got to get to that state of thinking to where we make new jobs, okay? We make new occupations. We make new occupations based on our natural astrological energies and our understanding of the deepest secrets of the universe. Okay, that's what we're here to do. We're here to actually, our mind manifests through nature to create infinity. Okay, our mind manifests through nature to create infinite ways of looking at itself through nature. And nature is neutral. Nature is just a mirror. It's reflecting you back to yourself. Okay, I am Jah Mashak. And I am here to live out and teach higher wisdom as an example for the collective consciousness. And I say today that no matter how many ancient cultures you study, no matter how many sciences that you study, no matter how many religions or spiritualities that you study, we will not actually grasp it until we actually apply it to our lives by connecting to what they connected to, which was nature. And I prophesy today that we will connect with nature. I'm not saying that everybody will, but I'm saying that a lot of people will become conscious of this, and they will connect to nature, and they will meet up in certain specific areas, geographic locations on the earth plane, and actually open portals, open dimensions, connect with each other on deeper levels, actually know themselves and attract everything that they need in their life, every person that they need, all the right food that they need, and all of the right thoughts, higher divine wisdom and knowledge, higher divine knowledge that they can apply to their life to create wisdom in their lives, okay? So yes, amen, ashe. I love myself, y'all. Share and subscribe. Let's get this knowledge out here. And if you have any questions about anything that I just said or anything on my channel, anything that I talk about, just hit me up, man. I love myself. Peace. I love myself. Hey.